Hello, everyone. This is Shalene right here. I'm just setting up right now for today's stream. I'm a little early, I believe about 10 minutes early than I usually start, which is at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And today I'm going to be starting with a new character. I'm going to be coming up with the friend of our main character that we've been working on from before. And so she is going to be we're going to be working on her today, essentially, and it's going to be interesting to see how this comes together. I'm really rusty with my art this week, and I have not actually drawn a lot throughout the week in total, so I feel like my lines are extra rusty, extra really kind of scratchy too. So I feel like I just want to do some character explorations. I have specifically only an hour to stay live this week, but why don't we just roll right into things and see what comes out of this drawing session. So for those who don't know, my name is Shalene Wright. I go live every Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And essentially, I'm working on rebuilding my portfolio right now. I am a children's book illustrator. I do this professionally. It's my job. And right now, children's books is where I see myself in the space within the art industry. I love it here. It's really great. And for the past couple of years, I have been working on my own, I guess, working for clients and building up my experience. But right now, my portfolio is actually very outdated. And so I struggle with my clients coming to me and requesting art from phases of my art development that are really old. And so it kind of puts me in a conflicted spot where I have to make art that feels kind of old, reflecting an older style, instead of making work that reflects what I do now. And so that's what I'm working on today. I'm picking up from where I left off for a children's book that I'm creating. It's just a demo book. It's not like an official story that I want to do, but it's just a demo to demonstrate my skills. The whole purpose of what I'm doing right now is to create art that I feel proud of and that I would love to create more of. And not just including inside of my portfolio things that just look good. I want them to feel good to me too, because working on your craft, whether you love art or not, but people aren't actually requesting the work that makes you happy, can feel so conflicting sometimes. And so now I am doing myself a service by creating pieces that make me happy so that other people, when they want to choose or select pieces from my work that they see in my portfolio, I know that I can do those skills because that's exactly what I intended for this my portfolio to be used for. And so let's continue with the stream. So a lot's been happening on social media lately, and it's been so interesting to see things unfold with the way Twitter has been going and the introduction of Threads. I recently downloaded, I think last night, and it's so interesting how familiar Threads is to Twitter. Of course, Twitter has been around for so long. I never really got into using Twitter ever, like at all. And so it's actually pretty interesting. I would say it's going to be an experience to reintroduce myself in this way on Threads. And what I like about Threads is that it's integrated with Instagram and it's owned all by, I guess, Facebook. So or Meta. And so all of those, all the information, all the people that you know is kind of like already there. And so I do find that kind of exciting. I find with Twitter, I there was always a wall and a barrier, and the community on Twitter could be so negative. So I'm really hopeful that this app won't just be turned down to the dogs, and that Threads might actually be a place where creatives can act will come together to communicate, to talk, to share, and that it won't be so advertiser heavy. I really hope that that's what happens. And so I'm hoping for the best when it comes on Threads, because it who knows what it presents, and I'm hopeful. So right now I'm just going to create a new character. So with this character, I want her to be a bit more adventurous. I'm not going to do a turnaround of her because I only want to focus on doing a turnaround of our main character. So today I'm just going to be doing explorations of this one. So I want her to be really fun, I want her to be very outgoing feeling. I want her to feel strong and maybe even adventurous. And so I'm really going to lean into some of aspects of the character design that will denote that through the clothing, through hairstyles. I don't want her to feel rough. I still want her to feel a little feminine, even though she's the same age as our main character. I haven't given her a name yet, but that's what I'm working with. So just give me a second while I pull up something on my screen. Okay, so let's keep going. So here's a rough draft that you guys can see, but I'm gonna keep pushing it further. So I want her to be a bit outgoing. Let me just make a mental note. Adventurous. She's fun. She's gonna be really smiley and maybe she's curious. But she's feminine. So let me do that too. So let's move on to the next character. If you're catching this on the replay, thank you for being here. I do not want to forget that I do know there are people who see this on the replay. And if you're someone who's working on your children's book portfolio and you're putting it together, you can just let me know in the comments or what you find interesting about these streams, because I really want to make videos going forward that are centered around what need there is inside of the art community, but it's hard for me to know what needs to be made and what people are looking for, and seeing where I can fill a gap that's also interesting, entertaining for me as well. And so let me know who you are, where you're from, and if anything, you can reach out to me on Instagram. I try my best to be present online. I really do try. It's a lot, especially when there's so many different platforms and you still have to manage, the everyday life and all of that. But I really do try to make an effort, especially when I'm live, to communicate and be present. So let me know what your thoughts are, what you'd like to see more of, and what you're doing with your art. So here I already feel like really rusty. I literally, the last time I drew was last week for last week's stream, and I I should share. The great thing is that I recently got a new iPad. It's hard to see, but I recently got this new iPad. It's the iPad Pro, a 12.9 inch, and I've been taking the week to pretty much learn it. And so it's been really hard for me to kind of like grapple the differences between using the Cintiq here and using the iPad. And I'm trying to prepare myself for a little bit of a transition that's coming up. And having multiple devices is super important. I'm just getting started inside of having them, but I noticed that I'm super restricted working from home, and it's limiting my access to social interaction. And so when it comes on to being able to work in a mobile way, it just hasn't been possible. For the first 5 years of having this, I believe this is my fifth year of owning. No, it's my fourth year of owning this Cintiq. It actually solved some of my problems. So essentially, at the beginning of my art career, I should say, I was using one of the Wacom bamboo tablets, like the plug-in. And then from there, I decided I was using it with my laptop. So I did have some mobility with my laptop, being able to draw anywhere. But the issue was I didn't have enough space. I really needed more space to draw. So I initially bought this Cintiq because it grants me how many inches? It's like 20 inches worth of drawing space, which I love and I need, I sincerely need. And it solved my issue of being able to dedicate a specific space to drawing. So now I knew back in 2019 that there was a specific corner in my room that I would be creating my art in, and I liked that. I really did. Then I had a separate issue. After a year or two of doing that, I said, you know what? I don't like drawing in my bedroom, and I want to have a dedicated space where I can separate my work from my pleasure. And so I did that. After getting married, I had a separate arts room that I could dedicate just to creating my work. And so my Cintiq was perfect for that. And I had a different type of work life balance. But now I'm in a place where I'm like, I need the mobility to draw anywhere I can, because having to draw in one space, sometimes as an artist, you the thing is the thing is if you can do more when in different places, why not? And there are opportunities, I feel like, in terms of just being available to my family, being available to just changing an environment that I feel like having a Cintiq has limited me to. And so now I realize I'm in a stage where I need to be able to draw from anywhere, and my Cintiq limits me in my ability to do that. So I'm coming up to a time where mobility is also really important. I managed to hit all the other nails on the head, which was, dedicating my space just for art and being able to have a big screen for drawing. But now I really need to be able to draw from anywhere and be prepared to have that mobility, because if I do not have it, man, it's tough. Because this setup that I have here, the Cintiq is on a like an ergo stand right now, which is like an arm, which helps it to be more flexible and ergonomic for me while I sit down. But it is really heavy, and so my setup has to be sturdy. I have to buy tech that makes sense. Everything I use in juxtaposition together with my work has to they all have to be compatible together. And it's kind of tired, not that it's tiring. It's hard to move this setup around. So it's very stationary. It's going to be in this position until I move. And so I'm just like, I can't depend on this very stationary rig. So I like having an office, which I have now, being able to dedicate my like serious work, which takes place on my Cintiq here. But for the days where I need social interaction, or I just don't have the time to do multiple things in a day, but I have to sacrifice, being home, or I can't go because I have a deadline coming up, I feel like that's where my an iPad comes in. And so I'm so happy to finally have an iPad. It's just unfortunate that there is a bit of a learning curve with it, because it just feels so different and it's smaller. I don't have like I don't understand all the hotkeys yet. And like with this remote, honestly, is the biggest lifesaver on the planet. I love this remote that comes with the Cintiq. I would be nothing without it. Like, literally, I do not need a keyboard by my side unless up to do like little mini things, like little fidgets and stuff. But I can't do that on the iPad. And if I can, I need to figure out how. So I feel like that would help my process with the iPad so much more. And that's pretty much where I'm at right now. I haven't been drawing as much as I need to, but that's because I am learning how to use my new iPad and figure out how to create art there so I can be more mobile going into the future. So that's essentially what my life has been up to in the past week. But my art is so rusty. I do not like any of the things coming out right now. It is not looking good. It really isn't. And not to mention, I feel like one of the drivers from my Cintiq right now is really wonky. I'm experiencing some glitching here and there. And it's been demotivating me from drawing because I just don't like the glitch. Really dive deep and figure it out. So when that drive comes, it'll get done. But apart from that, I'm still working on our character here. I have to draw out all the bad art, which you are seeing at the moment, but it is not going well. I feel like she's a little tall for the actual characters that I'm making, so I need to just make her a bit shorter. So I'm just gonna adjust the camera a little bit. Sorry if your screen gets shaky. I just want to give you guys a full view, a more accurate view of what I'm working on. That's better. So because I'm doing a character exploration, I actually don't need to be keeping the pose this like rigid. I can make it much more full of life and activity, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to keep this here and move on to another sketch. I think what I actually might be experiencing is a form of art block right now, and it's very unfortunate. I actually feel like I don't want to draw. I just want to make videos. I'm actually in a place where I'm like, I actually don't want to draw. I want to make stuff. I want to get back into doing my YouTube videos for the channel. I know I've been doing live videos, but I have to really step up my game with making videos. I have 3 videos in mind that I intend on making, but I just haven't gotten around to making them. And yeah, see, I don't even know what I'm doing right now. It's my brain and my creative side are not in sync. So I'm actually gonna start a little lower. Yeah, I've been thinking of some video ideas that I'm planning on working on. My goal is to record one of them today after the stream sometime in the evening, but really getting back into doing that because I love doing live videos. This is such a fun space to be in, and I still want to keep up filling out, answering questions that people have shared with me through my YouTube videos, and doing that just so that people who aren't coming to the live stream, they have a place to still get their questions answered without listening to like an entire hour-long stream, which can be so frustrating sometimes. So I still want to be doing that, but I have challenges in terms of like, what do people really want to know anyways? So I still need to do some research on the overall topics that I feel are relevant for the day, because I don't want to just make anything. And I find like I'm not really one of those creators that would just make a daily vlog. Like, I'm really not. My life is not that interesting, and I don't attribute that much interest into my everyday tasks. So I don't see myself as becoming one of those type of art channels. I want to foster a space where people can ask questions, where I can encourage people, inspire people, but I don't know how to do that. So, and I don't know a lot of YouTubers who do that, or art channels. So aside from doing tutorials and such, I feel like I need a bit more exposure to the different types of art channels that exist right now, and that might take some time to do some more research and seeing how people are telling their stories, and how different artists are actually engaging with the community, because I find as artists it can be so, the way we interact with media versus someone who's not actually a creative person, it's a little different, even though they're the same. And I feel like our expectations also are a little different. And so I don't, when it comes on to speaking to just the general public, I feel like I can do that because it's easy. But if I were to speak to an artist, I find that a little bit more challenging because there's so much more nuance into doing hobbyist art, trying to become doing art for your career, etc., etc. And so I'm really trying to scout out, what is the space that is relevant to people today and not just, how to become a children's book illustrator, because that might not be important to everyone. So, how can I merge the gap between making art that people need, talking about topics that people value, and still going ahead and engaging in a way that people find it interesting enough to come back. So that's also where I'm at. Okay, as you can see, I am super struggling with this character. This is art block, and I know last week one of you asked me how do I get over art block. This is it. Like, I'm just drawing and I'm going to keep drawing until something good comes out. I treat it like a clogged sewage drain, and I have to draw out all the bad things until I get something that I want. And surprisingly, this is just not it. I am actually really surprised that I'm struggling this much. I might have to default to creating something that I want right now. And see, this is an executive decision. This is an executive decision where I'm like, I might not be doing the right thing by forcing myself to create for the portfolio. Maybe I need to be making something that's actually important to my creative likes and interests, and that would maybe beget my ability to draw again, because I cannot draw right now. I don't know, I do not know what's happening. This is definitely art block. I feel like I could be somewhere else right now and not here. And I'm wasting my time. Oh my gosh, art block is the worst. And I think I know why it's come back, and I feel like I have so many things that I want to do and they're all starting to build up. And so the stress, oh my gosh, the stress of wanting to do things and not being able to, I feel like it's giving me art block right now. So you guys are not seeing the cream of the crop. You're getting like the sewage I was talking about, like the drainage pipe, drawing out all the bad things. This is what it is right now, because I am struggling for my life to draw the simplest thing. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Oh, hey, Bubble Studio, you made it. So you just finished yours. I'm gonna check yours out after this stream. Oh my gosh, I hit my stand. 1 second. It's good to see you. And you got an drawing tablet. Oh my gosh. Yes, that's so awesome. I last week I purchased for the first time my first iPad, and I've been taking this week to figure out how to create on it. So it's been really interesting. I'm so happy for you. It seems like this is the season for new things. That is so awesome. How has it been? Were you drawing on your new tablet today, or were you just showing it? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I cannot draw for the life of me. It's just not coming out the way I want things to go. What is happening today? I plan to have such a good stream, and literally I'm getting peanuts. Like, this is art block at its, like, what am I drawing? This is not it. I'm trying to just draw a simple character. Oh my lord. No, this is wrong. Oh my gosh. This is so wrong. I can't draw. I literally cannot draw. This is crazy. I am struggling for my life. My mind knows what it wants to do. And my creative side is just saying no. It is saying no right now. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's so crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just, I'm realizing now using an iPad with a glass screen is so different. I have mad respect to everybody who has been using one. I don't know how you guys do it. It's so different. It's so different. It's amazing. I know with my Cintiq here, I didn't buy the touch version of it, so it doesn't have that functionality. But I must say, having an iPad that has touch, it just makes a lot of sense. I can see that like I should have gone with a touch model when I got this Cintiq here. But now having an iPad, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense to have a touch feature. Okay, so I can't draw today. This is just disappointing. I don't know where things are going. Um, This is just, I'm struggling, and this is all I was able to make in 26 minutes. It's not bad, it's just not what I wanted. Okay, so, um, like, why would I? No, that's not it. This is, yep. If I can at least draw a doodle, I'll be proud. So let me just stick to a doodle. Today's a doodle day. Let's just scratch the plan. I said I was gonna draw a character. I did, but I'm recanting it now. That's not on the list of things to do today. That I might have to show you guys what I do next week because this is just wrong. Oh my gosh. Something, what is going on? Like, I don't normally draw. Like, why would I even make that decision? Okay, this is weird. I have to commit to it. I have to commit and see what happens. I can't let this thing win. Like, it's already won, but like I have to get a win at this point. Oh, you just started using Clip Studio, but I don't draw on the glass. It's strange. Oh, the paper like screen protector. I was looking at the paper like screen protector and like researching it. I was about to order it on Tuesday night or Wednesday night, but I didn't because there's a sound when you actually draw. Oh my gosh, I nearly cried. It reminded me of like a blackboard with like chalk and you're like making that hard line. I don't know if it's actually like that when you're drawing every day, but maybe you can give me your experience. Do you find like it actually has that effect, or is that just how it's picked up through video? Like what kind of feeling do you get? How satisfying is it for you to have a paper-like feel for your iPad? And yes, doodle days are good too. Oh my gosh. I didn't think today was going to be a doodle day. I really didn't because I've been doodling on the iPad all week and I was like, today I'm going to make something for myself now. Like actually good. Well, not actually good, but I'm going to follow my plan. Nope. Oh my gosh. What is life? No, I can't. I'm gonna go back to this and I'm just gonna design a character. I think I'll get more satisfaction out of that. So, yeah, I was looking at paper like that. It seemed so perfect. I just wish the sound of the pen being on the paper. Well, it makes sense. It's called paper like. So, maybe I need to adjust my expectations. Oh, so it's more like soft scratches. Maybe I should just order it and test it out and see and really go from there. I might give it a shot then. Oh my gosh, the glass. I'm glad to hear that it's way better because I'm like, how? How does this work? Like I just need to the feeling of my palm even going across it, I just couldn't figure out how that was an ideal situation. Like it catches everything. It even picks up your hand touching the glass, which was quite surprising. But it makes sense. It's just like it feels, the weird thing is the glass feels good to the touch. It just feels wrong for drawing. It's so it's interesting. And right when I feel like I want to get like I want to draw like hair strands, it's like fighting me. Like I feel like the pen is actually gliding faster than it's supposed to, and the stroke that gets picked up, it's not actually the stroke that I did. And so, I'm just going to go ahead and try the paper like because the glass is fighting me at this point. Yeah, the glass is definitely fighting. I think I want to do an off shoulder. Oh my gosh, the glare. Yes. That's real. Oh, so it has glare reduction. Let's go. You know what? That's a big deal. That's one of the things that I noticed when I was drawing. I'm like seeing myself and the light above me that's like on and it's reflecting back to me. It's fine in the sense of like yeah, it's there, but thank you for sharing that. I didn't even think about it because I noticed it was an issue, but I couldn't actually articulate it into words because I don't have that problem with this screen. It's totally diffused. And it's good to know that this glare. Okay, so I'm pretty much sold. Maybe I just needed to talk to someone about it. Thank you for coming on Bubble Studio. Like, honestly, I needed you. Like, this is a divine moment right now. It's actually divine. So thank you for being here. Okay, I just can't draw. Like, it's just, for the life of me, there's a war going on. I think I need to just call it quits. I don't know what else to say. Like, I can't draw at all. And I was actually planning on like getting actual work done after the stream, and it seems like it might be a no-go kind of day. Because sometimes you guys probably know what that's like, but when you're in a groove and everything you draw just comes out so well. Or it just, even if it doesn't come out the way you wanted, you can at least draw. But this is not it. Like, I would take 7 hours to draw the simplest thing if I keep at this. Yeah, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna get it. I'm definitely gonna give it a shot. Let me just draw what's in my mind. I don't know what's there, but let's see what comes out. I cannot believe this is happening. Like, I can, but it's just so disappointing. Like, come on, brain. Like, we're live right now. I just need you to hold out for just another 20 minutes. Like, just give me 20 minutes of good juice and I can at least meet my quota for the day, for the week of the art that I'm supposed to make for this so-called portfolio. I really wanted to work on it today, and this is what I'm getting. You know what? I have a theory. It's been coming to my mind while I'm drawing. Maybe the iPad did this to me because my brain is changing because of how I'm using the iPad. So what if this is the effect of the iPad and Procreate and using what is it? Photoshop Freshco and all of that. I think the iPad is doing this to me. I think it's been spoiling me. Oh, okay, okay. I'm glad I can be of help and of visual support. I hope that. Okay. For me, I definitely need to work on my color. I could be more diligent with that skill set. I feel like this year, going into the next couple of years, my understanding of color and what do you call that? Environment design and sets, I think that's where I struggle with. I feel like I want to take a class, but I doubt I'd actually take a physical class where I'd have to attend. I might have to see an online class for that. There are some that I've tried taking, but I feel like I'm more of a passive learner. Oh my gosh, so you get it about the Procreate and the, yeah, I think that's what it is. Because I'm like, why can't I draw? Yesterday was the first day I was sketching in the iPad. I'm like, yeah, it's coming together. I was finally figuring it out and things started looking nice. But what is this? Like, I thought it would be transferable. Jeez, I have to really be diligent to not get rusty. Like, what is this? I really think I got spoiled. Yeah, I think I got spoiled. I did. It's only been literally 7 days, but I'm spoiled now. Like, this is bad. I have work to do. This is really bad. Oh my gosh. And here I was like trying to get the iPad to feel more like the screen, and it's already messed me up. Like, I really like it, but it's just, wow. I was not expecting this. Yeah, color is such a tough thing. Like, I feel like if anybody who understands color, it's so, to me, I'm like, that is so important. Like, color alone is a job of its own. Like, just being able to understand colors, oh my gosh, my dream would come true. It's been 24 hours since you got your, yeah, oh my gosh. Man, they're doing us in bad. Makes sense. It makes sense. It actually does, because this is crazy. Like, what? It's been 15 minutes and I'm still on this. Like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. It's just not looking the way it should. Oh my gosh. It's wrong. It's wrong. I'm sorry. I gotta start over. Let's give this another shot. Let's go back to basics. I'm gonna start with the basics again. I'm going back to basics. This is like Essential Art 101. Art Essentials 1000. Because I'm like, how come I can't do this? Yeah. I hear what you're saying, Bubbles. So what tablet did you get? I'm not sure if you mentioned that. So is it a different platform than the Apple iPads? Is it something totally different? Is it something that'll connect to your PC? Is it a wireless a different wireless tablet? How would you describe it? Or what is it called? Oh, sorry. Okay, so I can at least do the basics, so that's a good sign. So nose goes here. Yeah, but this is still messed up. Like, I do not draw like this on the regular, even for doing the basics. Oh, I haven't heard of this before. That is really cool. I have to check that out later. So it doubles as a tablet and a second monitor. Man, they have so many nice things these days. I'm sure you probably remember like 10 years ago, 12 years ago, 15 years ago, the options were so limited. It's so awesome that like it's not as private as it used to be. You think so? You know what? Okay, I'm gonna ride with it. Okay, I'm gonna take your word for it. No, this is not it. I don't know, like my hand is just the pressure is off or something. The lines are just broken. What in the world? Like it looks fine, but it's like what I'm doing is not what I'm thinking it should. It's not coming out the way I'm imagining it should. And usually it does. This is so bizarre. I'm gonna have to take a break from the iPad for real. Like, what? This is weird. Or I'm just gonna have to break through the learning curve. So the stage of learning and adaptation is kind of like accelerated, so I can just draw what's in my mind again. Oh, so the iPad pencil is more accurate. Hmm. I find with this drawing pen, it's like definitely more accurate than the Apple Pencil, but it may not just be the pen. It could also be like using it with the screen. I feel like because this screen isn't glass, like I can apply pressure to the screen and there's actually like a give in the screen. So it's bouncing with me. So I feel like the pressure I apply, I can feel it, but I don't feel it with the Apple Pencil yet. So I don't have, so like I can be applying pressure, the screen is giving me zero resistance back, and I just have to go off of what I'm feeling in my hand and not just like the screen bending with me. And I feel like that's also been throwing me off too. That might be it because I feel like I'm using the wrong pressure in my hand even now. I'm like, why are the lines so thin? And when I get them dark, they're just too dark. So I think it is that. It's definitely the iPad. I have a deadline coming up and I need to get this work done. Okay. So, what do I know how to draw? Let's just do some straight hairs. Something that doesn't require me to think too much. Aw, thanks. You know what? I should have trusted the process. Thank you so much. It's coming together. It's coming together. I had so much plans for this stream at the beginning. I was gonna draw four separate characters of this like really rough sketch that I made earlier. And I was like, yeah, we're gonna figure out which good copy I'm gonna make of her for next week. No. I really wanted to get like her the second character for the children's book that I'm making, and I feel a little discouraged by that, but it's fine. It's not as if I can do like the whole portfolio in like a couple weeks anyways. This is like the fourth month that I've been working on it. So um it's totally fine. I don't even know. Like I literally gave myself an hour, so I do know that I have like this. I feel like this is all I can make. It's just so weird. So why don't I just push this over, try again. Maybe I'll draw her in side profile this time. Wait, no, that's a man's neck. I have to adjust that. I think this is okay. Not really what I pictured in my mind, but good enough to pass. Yeah, I think it's the pressure. I have to relearn the pressure again because it's just off. It might be that and it might not be. I wonder if the settings that I played around with in Adobe Fresco using my same account actually got changed in my Photoshop here. I don't know if that's a thing, but I might have to look into that. Nope. I think that's it for there. Let's move her over. Make it smaller. How do I select and move stuff like that? So I draw I click the lasso tool. It's I wonder if I can pull this out. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I select the lasso tool and then I choose the area. Oh, I choose the area and then I go to select and then I just make it bigger or smaller. So just to show you again, if I was like drawing, if I was drawing and I'm like, hey, I want to make this head smaller, I click I have the remote, so I'm not really touching it, but I click the lasso tool. I choose the area and make sure it's on the layer that you want. And I highlight it, click this box here, and then I move it. But that's in Photoshop. It might be different in other apps, but I click the dots outside of it and I move it around, which is pretty much the exact same thing as clicking select. I click the dots and then I adjust the size. That's how I do it. I'm not sure if there's other ways, but that's personally how I do it. The lasso tool has saved me so much time when I learned how to do it. Oh my gosh, that thing saves me so much time. No, that's totally fine. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every moment, second that you're here and even sharing your time with me. You're so welcome. So whether you're in and out of chat, that's totally fine. I'll just be here until 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I really hope you get a lot of nice rest before you go into work, and that work turns out to be a really good day today. You're so welcome. It can really help you save time if you don't like to redraw things all over again. I know some people do like the drawing process, but if I can save 10 seconds, you better believe I'm saving them. Yeah, this is. You're so welcome. Yeah, this is just not looking right to me again. It's just out of order. I feel like I'm doing more strokes, but I'm not actually seeing it. And maybe that's the thing about the Apple Pencil and the iPad is that it picks up so much more, but it treats it as like a heavy line. But this one, it's actually, I have to put more pressure to get the same level of pressure sensitivity I would on the iPad, which is interesting. So interesting. I never thought this would have been the issue. I'm learning a lot today. This is. I feel like those are 4 different styles that I've drawn so far. Okay, so I definitely made three different characters for this hour and 20 minutes that I was live. We talked about last week about, I think it was last week or the week before that, regarding character consistency and being able to keep your character consistent in all three angles. This is a perfect demonstration of close but not quite. So, um, this honestly reminds me of Studio Ghibli, and this is like what I do, and this is just a hope and a dream. So, to wrap up today's session, I feel like it's important to at least share that changing your devices really do affect how you draw. So be mindful of the breaks that you take between devices and try and incorporate both so you're maintaining the skill set that you have with one and learning a new one simultaneously at the same time. That is the lesson that I've learned. And I feel like that's a very valuable lesson. So, for all of those of you who feel like digital can be very challenging and that it's hard, I understand how you might feel about that, especially if you're going straight from traditional into digital art, because I am a digital artist 100% through and through, and I still am experiencing the challenge of consistency every now and then. And so, this is it. This is it for today's stream. I do have a meeting at 1 p.m. And so this is where we reached at the end of our stream. So thank you, each and every one of you who passed through and who will be here on the replay. I cherish you and I thank you for your time. Thank you, Bubble Studio, for being here. And thank you for your insights in regards to the iPad. I'll definitely check them out. And everybody check out Bubble Studio's stream as well. She's awesome. I have to say, if any one of you do have any tips regarding the iPad Pro, you can definitely leave them for me. I'm listening, I am available, and I need them. And so, if you have any other questions, you can leave them in the comment section, and I'll do my best. I will do my best to get back to you. Otherwise, I'll be back here next week, Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and hopefully, I'll get so much more work done along the lines of what we are committing to for our hourly intake. And so that pretty much wraps up today's session. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Hoping the absolute best for each and every one of you.